Hello guys, welcome to another session. In the previous class, we have learned about stomach. In this session, we will learn about small intestine, which is a continuation of the stomach in the alimentary canal. Right? Small intestine consists of duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So these three parts are collectively known as small intestine. It extends from the distal end of the pyloric canal to the ileocecal junction and has a mean length of 5 meters. Okay, small intestine is 5 meters, 3 to 8.5 meters, measured intraoperatively in living adult. The duodenum extends from the stomach to the duodenal jejunal junction. The remaining small intestine is often referred to as a small bowel. The proximal 2/5 of which is referred to as the jejunum and distal 3/5 is known as ileum. Right? There is no clear boundary between the two parts, but there is gradual transition in morphology from the proximal to distal ends of the small bowel. The distal 30 centimeters is known as terminal ileum, has some specialized functional physiological functions, right? So this is duodenum, and whole of this is, all these loops are jejunum and ileum. So immediately after duodenum is jejunum, and this one is ileum, right? We'll see that. So this is lower gastrointestinal tract. If you remove the greater omentum, this will be the view, right? So the large board things are colon, right? That is colon, that is the selected structure is transverse colon, and small bore loops are small intestine. Okay, in order to see the duodenum, we have to remove the transverse colon, right? We have to remove that. So if you remove, so you can see the duodenum, right? Is a continuation of the stomach. Duodenum is the continuation of the stomach, and the continuation of the duodenum is jejunum. Okay, those loops are jejunum, and those loops are ileum, right? I will draw. So this is pylorus, right? Pylorus, right? So from pylorus to here is duodenum. Okay, this one is duodenum, right? And from there, all of these loops are jejunum, right? So the junction between the duodenum and jejunum is called as duodenojejunal junction, right? So the terminal part is, so all these loops are ileum. So the ileum, where it continues as the cecum, right? So this one is cecum. So the junction is called as ileocecal junction, right? Okay, so the small intestine ranges from pylorus to ileocecal junction, right? So it is consists of three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Duodenum is from pylorus to duodenojejunal junction. Jejunum is from duodenojejunal junction to jejunoileal junction. So there is no clear demarcation between jejunum and ileum. And Ileum is from jejunal-ileal junction to ileocecal junction, right? So you see, so this one is duodenum and ileum, and this is jejunum. So this is small intestine. Duodenum and jejunum is called as small bowel. Okay. Coming to the duodenum. It is approximately 25 centimeters long and is the shortest, widest, and most predictably placed part of the small intestine. So this is the shortest because the remaining jejunum and ileum gives 5 meters length, right? Shortest, widest, and most predictably placed part because jejunum and ileum are freely mobile by adhering to the mesentery, right? Proximal 2.5 centimeters is intraperitoneal and the remainder is retroperitoneal. You have already learned this, right? Duodenum forms an elongated C that is lies between the level of the first and third lumbar vertebrae. So L1 to L3. You will see that. So you see that is L1, this is L2, and this is L3, right? So duodenum is L1, L2, L3, right? It is C-shaped. Okay, you can clearly see that C-shaped. The head and ancillary processes of the pancreas lie within the concavity of the duodenum. You see the structure, this selected structure is head of the pancreas, body and tail of the pancreas. So pancreas is embedded within the cheese structure of duodenum, right? The duodenum therefore curves in an anteroposterior direction, forming C. So duodenum is having 4 parts, right? You'll see that. So this is the location of duodenum, right? N L1, L2, L3, pancreas. So the 4 parts are first part, second part, third part, and fourth part. First part is called as superior part, which is 5 centimeters, and second part is descending part, which is 7.5 centimeters, and third part is horizontal part, which is 10 centimeters, and fourth one is ascending part, right? Ascending part, which is 2.5 centimeters, right? So total 25 centimeters, right? First part. Coming to the first part, the course it begins at the pylorus, passes upward and backward and laterally to the right side of the vertebral column to reach the neck of the gallbladder, where it curves downwards. The downward curve is called as superior duodenal flexure to become continuous with the second part of the duodenum, right? You'll see that. Okay. So this is the first part. I will draw. So this one being the first part, right? First part. So first part from pylorus, here lies the stomach or pylorus, right? From pylorus, it is forward and like this, and this one is the second part, right? So this is the gallbladder, right? Gallbladder, neck of the gallbladder, this one is, right? So it is related to neck of the gallbladder. So this first flexure is superior duodenal flexure, right? So it only partly retroperitoneal and freely mobile and distensible. It has no circular folds in mucous membrane in its initial 2.5 centimeters, seen as the duodenal cap in barium meal radiograms. So usually the intestines are, the mucous membrane is folded, right? So the first 2 centimeters is not folded. So in the barium meal X-ray, it appears as a duodenal cap, right? And first part is the site for the duodenal ulcer, right? And it is supplied by celiac trunk because duodenum develops from both foregut and midgut, right? So celiac trunk is the artery of foregut and superior mesenteric artery is the artery of midgut. So duodenum receives arterial supply from both celiac trunk and superior mesenteric artery, right? So you see, this is the barium meal X-ray. You see the duodenum, right? This is the whole of duodenum, right? So this one is called as cap, duodenal cap, right? Coming to the relations of the first part, quadrate lobe of the liver and gallbladder anteriorly, posteriorly portal vein, gastroduodenal artery and common bile duct, superiorly epiploic foramen being separated from it by the portal vein and bile duct, head and neck of pancreas inferiorly. So we'll see. So anteriorly so you see only some part of the duodenum is intraperitoneal, right? Remaining part is retroperitoneal. See, all of this is retroperitoneal, right? Coming to the relations, this is the quadrate lobe of the liver, right? And you have already seen the gallbladder, right? That is anterior relations, and inferiorly because this is the first part, right? Head of the pancreas, and this is the gastroduodenal artery, right? Selected structure is gastroduodenal artery. And coming to the posterior side, okay? Posteriorly, first part of duodenum is related with common bile duct, right? And this is the portal vein, right? Bile duct and portal vein, gastroduodenal artery. So those are the relationship. You can go through the diagrams as you have already seen in the 3D. So this is the all the relations are available in this diagram. So liver, gallbladder, pancreas, portal vein, bile duct, right, and all these things. First part of the duodenum is intraperitoneal, hence freely mobile. It is supplied by end arteries. Only part which is devoid of circular mucous folds. End arteries means there is no further branching of the artery, right? So the supraduodenal artery of Wilkie, retroduodenal branch of the gastroduodenal artery, less of branches of hepatic artery, branches from the right gastroepiploic artery. All these arteries are end arteries, and also these are exclusively supplied to the first part of the duodenum only. All these four arteries, right? Coming to the second part, it begins at the superioduodenal flexure, right? So, so it is like that, right? This flexure is called as superioduodenal flexure, and here it is called as inferioroduodenal flexure. Downward in front of the medial part of the right kidney till the lower border of the L3, where it goes towards the left. So this is inferior duodenal flexure, to become continuous with the third part. Right? We'll see. So you see, this is the second part, and this is the right kidney, right? So this is the right kidney, in front of right kidney and in front of third L3. It lies behind transverse mesocolon. You see? So this is the transverse, this is the peritoneal fold which covers the transverse colon, right? So this is the transverse mesocolon, right? So you see, this is the transverse mesocolon, and this is the second part of duodenum, right? It receives bile duct, chief and accessory pancreatic ducts. So bile duct and pancreatic ducts, both of them opens into the second part of duodenum, right? It is the only part of the intestine supplied by double rows of vasa recta arising from anterior and posterior pancreatic or duodenal arterial arcades. We will see that. Anteriorly, gallbladder and right lobe of the liver, transverse colon, transverse mesocolon, and coils of the small intestine. Posteriorly, right kidney, right renal vessels, right edge of the inferior vena cava, and right psoas major. Medially, head of pancreas, laterally, ascending colon, right colic flexure, and right lobe of the liver. This is easy. So medially pancreas, laterally ascending colon, anteriorly you have already seen the transverse colon. We have removed that, and posteriorly, right, this is the right kidney, and this is the psoas major, right psoas major, right, and this is the inferior vena cava. So those are the relations, inferior vena cava, right? See, duodenum is related with kidney, psoas major, and inferior vena cava, right? Coming to the third part, it horizontally to the left across the lower part of the body of the L3, crosses in front of IVC, inferior vena cava, takes a smooth curve upward to become continuous with the fourth part of duodenum. Anteriorly, root of mesentery, superior mesenteric vessels and coils of jejunum. Posteriorly, right psoas major, right ureter, IVC, aorta, and right gonadal vessels. head of pancreas and inferiorly coils of jejunum. So see, so this is the horizontal part. This one is the horizontal part, right? So these are the superior mesenteric artery and superior mesenteric vein, right? So it arises from the aorta. You can see it here, okay? This is the inferior vena cava, right? So these are the gonadal vessels, right? Gonadal vessels came all the way. So these are the gonadal vessels, right? It came all the way from here to here, and also right kidney and also right ureter. I will remove the jejunum, also remove the IV. So you can clearly see the relations, right? See, inferior vena cava and also the aorta, I haven't included yet. You see, this is superior mesenteric vein, superior mesenteric artery, gonad. These are the gonadal vessels, right? Testicular and ovarian arteries and veins, right? And this is the kidney, so this is the ureter, right? Right ureter. Okay. So that is regarding third part. Coming to the fourth part, it runs upwards immediately to the left of the abdominal aorta from the end of the third part at the L2, where it turns forward ventrally to become continuous with the jejunum, duodenojejunal flexure. Okay. So you see, this is the fourth part, right? So this is the aorta. This one being the aorta, right? Anteriorly transverse colon, mesocolon, posteriorly left psoas, left sympathetic chain, left gonadal vessels, inferior mesenteric vein, superiorly pancreas, on to the left, left kidney and left ureter, on to the right, upper part of the root of the mesentery, right? So we will see. So this is the aorta. So you see, you can clearly see the red left kidney, left ureter, that is inferior mesenteric vein, right? And you can see this is the left sympathetic chain, right? Sympathetic chain, left sympathetic chain, that is. Right. Coming to the interior of the duodenum. Being part of the small intestine, the mucous membrane of the duodenum presents circular folds, right? They are called as valves of Kerckering. But they begin in the second part of the and become large and closely set below the level of the major duodenal papilla. In addition to this, the interior of the second part of the duodenum, right, presents the following special features: major duodenal papilla, minor duodenal papilla, and arch of plica semilinaris. It's not polis, plica. Plica semilinaris, right? This is the endoscopic view of duodenum, right? So these are the walls of Kerkeling, right? Coming to the major duodenal papilla, it is a well-marked conical projection on the posterior duodenal wall and situated 8 to 10 centimeters distal to the pylorus. On its summit opens the common hepatopancreatic duct, right, formed by the union of bile duct and pancreatic ducts, major pancreatic duct. So it is called as major duodenal ampulla, papilla, or ampulla of water. It is called as ampulla of water. Minor duodenal papilla is small conical projection situated 2 centimeters proximal and central to the major duodenal papilla. Accessory pancreatic duct opens on its summit. The plica semilinaris forms an arch above major duodenal papilla like a hood. It is called as Mark's hood. Plica longitudinalis, vertical tortuous fold of the mucous membrane extending downward from the major duodenal papilla. So pancreatic, this is accessory, this is main. This is the main one. And this is common bile duct, right? So both these things opens into this part is called as major duodenal papilla or ampulla of water, right? And this one where accessory pancreatic duct opens is called as minor duodenal papilla. And this is called as plica semilinaris or monk's foot. And this elongated is called as plica longitudinalis. Right? See, minor, major duodenal papilla. You see, this is how endoscopically it appears. This is the major duodenal papilla, and this one being the monk's hood, right? Plica semilinaris, and this one is plica longitudinalis, major duodenal papilla, right? This is the another endoscopic view, right? This black is pleca semilinaris. Pleca semilinaris. This one is, this white arrow is ample of water or major duodenal papilla, right? This one is pleca longitudinalis. These are the endoscopic pictures. So this one is ample of water, right? Very clear. This is longitudinalis, pleca longitudinalis, and this is the third part of duodenum, right? Same things. See, they are very clear now. This is longitudinalis. This is the ample of water. Ample of water. This is another close picture. This is where the bile duct and pancreatic duct opens. Okay. Ample of water. Right. So you can see, so this is bile duct and this is main pancreatic duct. So both these are opening into the ample of water, right? So that is ample of water, selected structure, ANDHRA. So you see, this is common bile duct. This is major pancreatic duct, right? So these combine and opening into the, this one is major duodenal papilla, right? Whereas this is accessory pancreatic duct, right? Accessory pancreatic duct, APD, APD, and this is opening into here. This is called as minor duodenal papilla, right? Coming to the suspensory ligament of the duodenum or ligament of Treitz. It is a fibromuscular band which suspends the duodenojejunal flexure, that is at the junction of the duodenum and jejunum from the right crus of the diaphragm. Upper end is attached to the right crus of the diaphragm and the lower end attached to the posterior surface of the duodenojejunal flexure. This band contains striated muscle fibers and non-striated muscle fibers. The ligament of Treitz fixes the duodenojejunal flexure and prevents it from being dragged down by the weight of loops of the small intestine. It also serves as an important landmark in the radiological diagnosis of incomplete rotation or malrotation of the small intestine. Right? Sometimes the ligament of Treitz may kink the duodenojejunal flexure and may cause partial intestinal obstruction. The ligament of Treitz, if short, the duodenum will be O-shaped, and if long, the duodenum will be reverse J-shaped. Thus, three shapes of the duodenum recognized, that is C-shape, O-shape, and L-shape, that is reverse J-shape, right? So, this one is ligament of Treitz. Okay, this is the right crest of the diaphragm. From right crest to the duodenojejunal flexure. From here onwards, it is jejunum, right? All of this is duodenum. You can see that in here also. Okay, if you hide the pancreas, right? So this selected band, right? Selected structure is ligament of Treitz, right? Suspensory muscle of the duodenum, right? So this one. Coming to the arterial supply. Superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, a branch of gastroduodenal artery, and inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, a branch of superior mesenteric artery. You see, this is the celiac trunk, and this is from the superior mesenteric artery. Each of the above two arteries divide into anterior and posterior, right? Anterior and posterior. Respective branches of superior and inferior pancreatico-duodenal arteries anastomose to form anterior and posterior pancreatico-duodenal arteries. Each anastomotic arterial arcade gives off a row of vasa recta. The vasa recta of the anterior arcade supply the anterior surface, and those of posterior arcade supply posterior surface. Between the two rows of vasa recta lies the head of the pancreas. This is very important, right? You can see this is the anterior ones and this is the posterior one, right? So forming arcade and vasa recta, right? You can see that. See, this is the duodenum, right? So this one being the pancreatic common, this one is anterior, anterior inferior, and anterior superior. This is posterior superior and this is posterior inferior. Okay, you just like this. So this one is the anterior and anterior superior, anterior inferior. This one is posterior because this one is posterior, right? Posterior superior and posterior inferior. So what happens? So between these arcade lies the head of the pancreas. You see, it's very clear now, right? So this is the anterior superior and anterior inferior. So this is the pancreas, head of pancreas, and if you see that posteriorly, see this is the posterior superior and posterior inferior, pancreatico-duodenal arteries, right? So that is the see. So gastroduodenal artery, sorry, this is the celiac trunk, right? And superior mesenteric artery, right? Supraduodenal artery of Wilkie usually branch of gastroduodenal artery, celiac trunk, and supplies the anterior and posterior superior surface of the first part. Retroduodenal branches of the gastroduodenal artery and left branches of hepatic artery, branches from the right gastroepiploic artery, and branches of the superior mesenteric artery. All these supply duodenum, right? Okay. Coming to the venous drainage. The veins correspond to the arteries but are superficial to them. They drain into the splenic, superior mesenteric and portal veins. The veins are same names as arterial supply, but they drain into splenic, superior mesenteric and portal veins, right? You'll see that. You see this is splenic vein, right? And this one is portal vein, and this one is superior mesenteric vein. So all the venous drainage is in this, right? Splenic, portal and superior mesenteric. Coming to the lymphatic, you see posterior superior pancreaticoduodenal vein, inferior pancreaticoduodenal vein, right? This one. So this drain into superior mesenteric vein, right? This drain into superior mesenteric vein, and this drain into this posterior superior drains into splenic vein, right? Coming to the lymphatic drainage, lymph vessels follow the arteries and most of them drain into pancreaticoduodenal nodes lying along the inner curve of the duodenum. From here, the efferents drain into celiac and superior mesenteric lymph nodes, ultimately via intestinal lymph trunk into the cisterna chyli, right? So these are the pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes. Okay, these are the pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes. They drain into the celiac lymph nodes and ultimately into the, you see, from duodenum, right? Superior pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes, and this goes to celiac lymph nodes. This goes to intestinal trunks, cisterna chyli, thoracic duct. So those are superior pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes, inferior pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes, right? This is cisterna chyli, and these are internal intestinal lymph tracts. Coming to the nerve supply, sympathetic and parasympathetic. From T6 to T9 is sympathetic. Parasympathetic is from vagi through celiac and superior mesenteric plexus. From these plexus, fibers run around the arteries of the duodenum to supply it. You see, this is the sympathetic and parasympathetic is from vagus. Sympathetic is from celiac ganglia. So this is both branches of celiac plexus and mesenteric plexus, duodenum, right? So this is the superior mesenteric plexus. This is, right, and this one is celiac plexus. Coming to the applied anatomy, duodenal ulcer, common in the first part, right? In barium axilla of abdomen, first part of duodenum presents at triangular shadow, a well demarcated base and less distinct apex called as duodenal cap. So whenever there is ulcer, the duodenal cap is deformed, right? You see, with the deformed duodenal bulb. Okay, it should be like this, but the bulb is deformed. So C loop is like that. The second part of the duodenum is most protected from external injury because it lies more deep. Okay, paravertebral gutter. The third part is more prone to injury because it gets crushed between vertebral column and the anterabdominal wall following violence. Duodenal diverticula, they are congenital and almost always occur in medial wall of the second part of the duodenum. They are thought to be caused by herniation of the duodenal lining through the gaps in the muscle coat. Right? See, this is the diverticulum because of the gap in the muscle coats. Right? So that is regarding duodenum. Let me know if you have any thoughts.